my beautiful tulips. I'm so happy you guys are back. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Ash, aka Ashplaycrossing. I'm so happy you guys are here. If you would like to join our little community, I will really appreciate that. Anyways, I really want to say thank you guys so freaking much for the amount of support you guys been giving me lately and the beautiful comments that you guys been leaving me. I read them all and I take everyone's advice, so thank you guys so much for that as well. In this video I wanted to do something a little different. So usually when I make speed builds, I usually kind of talk in the beginning and then kind of like put music so you guys can just chillax and relax and just hear it. But in today's video I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit more and tell you guys what I'm kind of doing. It might be a little different, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's get this started. So in this clip you guys are just basically gonna see me trying to figure out what I want to do with this area, and I ended up going with putting the Able Sisters and Nooks Crannies. So yeah, I really like this area because of the natural river. I really didn't want to touch the natural river at all, so I ended up adding these like little jump pads to get to place just because I didn't want to touch the river as much because I really liked it. So in this part, I'm just going to be cutting trees and selling flowers to Nooks. So this definitely took a very long time just because I didn't realize there was so much weeds and so much trees. I didn't realize that it was going to take so long. So I'm sorry if cutting trees and cutting flowers are taking so long. It was definitely a very big challenge, especially trying to go back and forth. And I didn't realize that you could use a pipe, the Mario pipe, from one place to another, so I definitely start using that later on in the video. So then I ended up looking on this side because I thought I was almost finished and I wasn't. I looked how many more flowers were left and I was like, oh my god, this is so many flowers. I didn't think that there was so much flowers, but there was. I also want to mention, I'm so sorry, my island is a little mess right now. Well, not a little, it's a mess. Usually on this side I will try paths and see if I like them, and then I'll start using them if I like them. So this is definitely a part I want to kind of fix later on. But yeah, sorry. So, and honestly, I really like how this side of the island turned out. It's probably one of my best parts that I've done so far. I don't want to give it all away, but I really liked it. So I hope you guys stay until the end of the video because I really liked it and I hope you guys liked it. So probably one of the tips that I would give is when I cut trees or like I dig flowers, I get bored kind of like digging in the same place. So I kind of like to dig some on one side, dig some on the other side, and it starts clearing from the side, so you kind of start seeing like improvements. So I think that's one of the biggest tips that I can give out. Kind of work on different areas and not just one. So then I remember that you don't have to go inside Nooks to sell the flowers. You could just leave it at the drop box, and then the next morning they'll give you a phone call and tell you how much bells you made, and also you can look at how many bells you made. So here I was just sharpening the river to make it look more natural, and I ended up adding the little jumping pads. I think also this is a really good idea if you have no more bridges. So I started running low on flowers to decorate, so I went to go dig some up, and that's what I'm doing in this clip. So I ended up going with this really pretty green path. It looked really spring-core and also foresty. The name of it is called Daisy Path. It will also be in the description. If you want to see the code, you guys can definitely check that out. So here I was just kind of like seeing how I would lay out the path, and I really struggled with this because paths like this really kind of mess with you because you don't know if it's going to go this way or that way, so I kind of struggled putting the path down. So to kind of get an idea, I started building around it. So I was trying to figure out how I would put the building, and then I was trying to figure out how I was gonna put the path. So you guys can see me kind of like going back and forth, just so I can kind of get an idea of how I want to lay out the path. So you guys can definitely see me struggling putting the path down. I really like this path, so it was really worth it. It all comes along though. When you start putting it together, it makes it look really pretty. I really like this path. Like I said, I'll drop the MA down in the description. So with my paths, I also like to work from corner to corner, side to side, because then I'll see the results more, and it'll kind of like motivate me to keep going with this path, just because it does take a long time to put this path down. So here I was a little frustrated because the path wasn't laying the way I wanted to, so I ended up taking this patch of the path off and then trying it in the bottom. So I honestly and realistically was struggling with this little corner because I first wanted to add like a sewing machine there and make it like cute, but it was too small and I couldn't really add a lot of items. So I was definitely like putting flowers, taking them off, adding a lot of things. So you'll definitely see me struggling in this part of the corner of the island just because I really didn't know what to do with that. So, like I mentioned, I did struggle with this little corner just because I wanted to add a little sewing machine, but it was too cluttered, so I honestly didn't think it looked really good. So, I tried working around it. So I added these really pretty custom dress, and I honestly started seeing the idea more. So this really helped me with designing this corner. So I went in with the in-game path code, and I went in with a custom code as well on top of it, and I think it looked really lovely, but I wasn't satisfied. It looked kind of blank still, so I ended up adding a wind turbine, and I think that's what brought it all together. So like I mentioned, I did want to do spring core slash forest core, but I still want to add that forest core. So I ended up adding a mush item, and that's what really brought the forest core and the spring core together, and I think it was a lovely touch. Like I mentioned, I did add a mush item, but that's not until I realized that the spot looked kind of blank still and it needed something there. So that's when I was like, oh, I'm gonna add a mush item. So this is when I started seeing a little bit more results, and it kind of motivated me to keep going, and I really like how it turned out. Like I said, an advice I would give, or a tip that I would give to you guys, is work from different sides so you can see different perspective and see results more. I ended up putting a sign directing the nooks and ables just in case in the future someone wanted to tour my island. It would be easier access for them to know where it's at. So I ended up adding this really pretty hat shop in front of the ables, and it just added that really pretty touch to it. It was pretty hard deciding what hats I should put, but I went with this really pretty bow and another hat. So then it was time to decorate the left side of the Able sisters, and for this side I wanted something that represented the Able sisters. And when I think about it, I think about like sewing machine, just like thrown papers because of like the ideas they have. So I ended up adding something similar to what I just described. So you will definitely still see me struggling to try to decorate this side. I didn't know what rug I should use, and I really wanted to add trees behind, but there's limited space where you can add trees. So I just did the best I could. So to make sure that I wanted this rug, I started adding some furniture on top of it to make sure that I really liked it. So I really wanted to add the tree, but I wanted to also add the wind turbine, but it wouldn't fit because I was gonna put the nooks cranny next to it, and it wouldn't just go, it wouldn't fit. It would have been too cluttered. So I ended up adding the wind turbine instead, because instead of the tree I could just add flowers. So I ended up adding a leaf stool on top of the rug, but I just wasn't really feeling it, so I ended up adding a different chair. Let me know if you guys think that the leaf stool looked better. Also, if you heard a noise right now, it's because I hit my elbow on the table. I also did a couple time traveling in between videos and getting the buildings in my pockets because it was just gonna take way too long to go from place to place, getting the things and then coming back, and then it was just gonna take a very long time. So I time travel in between and just to get the results quicker. So like I said, I was being pretty stubborn and I really wanted to add a tree back there. It would have made everything look 10 times better. I'm kind of still salty about it. We should be able to put trees wherever we want to. So this turban, well, let's firstly ignore this part. This turban was not, it was like, it was being stubborn. It's like, I was turning it this way and it was going that way. And we're just gonna ignore this part. We're not gonna even look at it. So like I said, what I like to do is work from corner to corner to kind of see how it would look. And I think in this whole video, it's like me being stubborn trying to put trees where they cannot go. So here I was just basically trying to decorate this little area. It was a little difficult just because I really didn't have an idea of how to decorate it. So I started working on the path instead and trying to get more ideas while I'm doing the path. So you're gonna kind of see me going back and forth with the path and trying to decorate this. So I actually ended up changing the orange flower into the green mum by the wind turbine. I'm not sure if you guys noticed it, but I just felt like it felt more foresty. With these kind of paths, I like to work from corner to corner, so I will just work on one side and then I'll go to the other side and try to work from corner to corner, side to side. I don't like working just at one pace. I like to kind of go to each side to see more results. This video honestly took me the longest to edit, So it was 32 clips, which was like 2 hours of editing or 3, and I had to make it into a shorter video just so you guys didn't have to watch like the whole thing. So I'm sorry if I post this video late. It's because it does take a long time to edit these kind of videos. So I started seeing a little bit more results with this path, and honestly I was pretty happy about it, so I just kept going. So this little area I feel like I struggled with the most just because I really didn't know what to put. I was kind of like debating to put more hats or just leave it the way it was. So like I mentioned, I really didn't know what to do with this side. It was just a little hard, so I tried going with whatever I had in my inventory to try to make it look nice. I think it ended up looking really good, but you guys can definitely see me kind of struggling to make this side kind of pretty. I think just I struggle with smart areas, and if you're struggling with smart areas, this is something definitely you guys can take screenshots of and recreate it. Tag me if you do. So yeah. So I came back to my house to pick up some items to continue building. I really don't have a lot of items right now, so I'm hoping in the future I have more so I can decorate more. So I ended up just cutting this part out, but I basically just went to go buy a bridge from Nooks, and then I customized some items, and that's probably it. That's all I did in that clip that I cut off. So I went ahead and I added a bridge, and I like my bridge to be kind of in, not kind of out showing. So I was like using the building app to kind of make it more inwards. And I also, in this little area of like the entrance of the stores, I guess you can say like the stores, I really didn't know what to do with that little area, so for now I'm just adding like fence on it and trying to make it look nice, but I end up changing a lot of it. I think in most of my videos I kind of mentioned that I kind of like working corner to corner. I don't like to just work on one area, just because I feel like it kind of gets boring if you just work on one area, and I feel like if you work with different areas, you kind of see the results more, and so that's what I like to kind of do. But that's like everyone's different, so you can also give it a try. Also, if you hear something clicking, is my necklace. It's like hitting the table. So like I mentioned, I really didn't know what to do with the entrance entering the shops, so I started working on the cliff instead to kind of get ideas while I'm doing the cliff. So I did went ahead and I kind of skipped this a little part. I started working on the top cliff, and I wanted to keep this natural river like I said, but I couldn't keep it completely because I wanted to add a villager's house on top. So what I ended up doing was I started kind of closing the cliff, but just enough to put a house. So basically here I was just kind of cleaning on top, cleaning the weeds, the flowers. I was also closing the river so I can start getting the villager's house up there. And I also was selling like flowers to nooks. I kind of wanted to clear out this whole space before I even added the villager's house. So with rivers, I've never actually been really good at terraforming. So I kind of try to do my best to make natural rivers. But I'm not the best at terraforming. I also chose Sylviana to put her house there because she has such a cute house, and in the future I actually want to put Kelly's house there instead. So I skipped this part because I just basically went to Tom and I bought Kelly's home, and then I also was kind of getting more items to put on top of here, and it was just taking a long time to kind of do all of that, so I just decided to skip that for you guys so you guys can see the process faster. So I really wanted to add a tree here because I think it would make it look really nice, but I just didn't want to mess with the natural river as well. So I ended up just putting a wind turbine so it could match with the bottom one. But I really wanted a tree here, but like I said, I didn't want to mess with the natural river, so I just tried to do my best and work around it. So the reason I was taking a long time to put Sylviana's house down was because I wanted it to kind of touch the back, but then I kind of noticed that on the left side it was kind of crooked, so I just ended up trying to push it as further as I could. So that's why you guys kind of see me like taking a long time to decide where to put her house. So here I was just deciding whether I wanted to put the incline going straight or to the side, and then I ended up cutting it straight just because I could add more decorations, and I actually really like how it turned out. So here I was just being stubborn for a whole clip trying to add a tree. I honestly am pretty mad I couldn't add a tree here. It would have added like the topping on top of the icing. Wait, that doesn't make sense. The icing on top of the cake. It would just look really nice, but I guess not, so I just tried my best to work around it. So I ended up skipping this part because all I did was I got a bridge and then I started working on that bridge as well. So like I mentioned previously, I didn't know what to do with this side, so I ended up kind of working on the cliff and then getting some inspiration in my head while I was doing the cliff. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just decorating the entrance of my shops. So for the rest of the video, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna let you guys look at the speed build and hear the music as well. I kind of just wanted to interact with you guys a little bit more just because I feel like I really don't talk in most of my videos. If you like videos like this where I talk throughout my speed builds, you guys can definitely comment that down so in the future I could do more videos like that as well. And another thing, if you guys prefer me to talk throughout the whole video, comment that down. I just want to try it this way for now and see if you guys like it. If you guys don't, that's totally fine, but if you did, you guys can comment down so I can start doing it more often. Before I stop talking, I actually wanted to mention something really quick. Throughout the video, you guys are gonna see kind of like I skip a lot, and that's because my hard drive didn't save all the videos, so I kind of had to work around it and kind of put as much video footage I could show. So I'm sorry if that is kind of like, if you guys kind of notice that it's kind of like going from clip to clip. It's usually towards the ending, not towards the beginning, but I just wanted to let you guys know just in case. It's an advantage for you guys because you guys get to see the results faster. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys at the end of the video just to kind of show you guys the tour, and yeah. So as promised, I always show you guys the results of my island after I finish this speed build. I usually like to show you guys the finished look, but I'm not going to go into detail because I am going to do a full island tour. So I'm going to do like a little mini tour with you guys. So I ended up doing this really pretty natural side. I really like the trees done. It's so pretty and I love it. Also, the reason I sped it up was because this area is pretty big, so it's gonna take a long time to tour it all. Anyways, I'm off topic. So this is my Able Sisters, and Nook's cranny is next to it. I really like how I put these colors together, and the contrast looks amazing, and I honestly am really happy with this area. Especially it has this really foresty but spring core vibe to it. On this side, I decided to put one of my villagers' homes, and I just really love this idea. It made everything look incredible. I was kind of doubting myself on making this area, but I really like how it turned out. I started making this little natural river going down, and this is actually Sylviana's home. In the future, I am planning to put Callie's home, but for now, I think this looks amazing. I love the details, everything I put. I tried adding more things on the floor like pumpkins and instruments, and I really love this view of her home and looking at the ocean. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys did, feel free to join our little community. We're growing and I'm so happy. I'm overwhelmed with the support you guys gave me. It's fun and lovely doing these videos. Anyways guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. So I wanted to add this really quick. I'm gonna be out of town for 2 weeks, so I might not post for about a week. So I hope you guys understand. I wanted to add this on quick. I'm not running out of time. Bye!